citizenship. It is defined as the norms, means usually or typical, or appropriate responsible behavior with regard to technology use. For example, being respectful, such as not using bad words while communicating online. Second, protecting your privacy, not sharing your personal information like phone numbers, address, and so on. And using technology safely, we should be aware of what we click online to avoid being scammed or being hacked. And lastly is being responsible. Think first before you post something online. Always remember that what you post would reflect what you are in person. In short, digital citizenship is about awareness of using technology. So the first element is the digital access. Technology users need to be aware that not everyone has the same opportunities when it comes to technology. Working toward equal digital rights and supporting electronic access is a starting point of digital citizenship, such as having internet access, owning a computer or smartphone, and having the skills to use technology effectively. For example, imagine a classroom setting where some students have laptops and internet access at home, while others don't. This creates an inequality in learning because those with access can do research online, complete assignments digitally, and participate in online learning activities more easily. Good digital access would mean ensuring that all students have the same opportunities to use technology for their education, perhaps through school-provided devices or internet access programs. In short, if some students have no equal access to the internet or etc., then perhaps some of them are left behind.
Digital commerce, electronic buying and selling of goods. This element focuses on the skills and knowledge needed to participate safely and effectively in the online marketplace. It's about understanding how to buy and sell goods and services digitally. Examples is number 1, shopping online at Amazon or eBay. 2, using online banking or payment apps like PayPal. 3, selling items on platforms like Etsy or Facebook Marketplace. 4, understanding online advertising and marketing. 5, being aware of online scams and security risks. Number 3, digital communication, electronic exchange of information. This element highlights the importance of responsible and effective communication in the digital age. It's about understanding how to use various digital tools to communicate with others. For the examples are sending emails or text messages. 2, participating in video calls or online meetings. 3, using social media platforms like Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. 4, contributing to online forums or discussion boards. 5, understanding online etiquette and avoid cyberbullying. 6, being aware of privacy and security issues related to communication.
So let's proceed to number 4, digital literacy, process of teaching and learning about technology and the use of technology. Our renewed focus must be made on what technologies must be taught as well as how it should be used. New technologies are finding their ways into the workplace that are not being used in school. So, digital literacy is like learning how to use a computer and the internet. It's not just about knowing how to click a mouse, but also understanding how to find information online, use different apps, and stay safe while using technology. Think of it like learning to read and write, but for the digital world. It's important because new technologies are always popping up and we need to know how to use them to be successful in our jobs and in our lives. For example, imagine you're learning about a new topic in school. You could use digital literacy skills to find information online, watch videos explaining the topic, or even use a video conferencing tool to talk to an expert. So let's proceed to number 5, digital etiquette, electronic standards of conduct or procedure. Technology users often see this area as one of the most pressing problems when dealing with digital citizenship. We recognize inappropriate behavior when we see it, but before people use technology, they do not learn digital etiquette. Digital etiquette is basically the rules of good behavior when you're online. It's like being polite and respectful when you're talking to someone face to face but online. Think of it as the etiquette of the internet. It's important because we interact with people online all the time, and we need to make sure we're being respectful and kind. For example, you're chatting with a friend online. It's important to use proper grammar and spelling, avoid using all caps, and be mindful of what you say, and you wouldn't want to say something hurtful or mean to your friend in person, and the same rules apply online.
Number 6. Digital law. Digital law deals with the ethics of technology within a society. Unethical use manifests itself in form of theft and/or crime. Users need to understand that stealing or causing damage to other people's work, identity, or property online is a crime. There are certain roles of society that users need to be aware in an ethical society. These laws apply to anyone who works or play online, hacking into other informations, downloading illegal music, plagiarism, creating destructive worms, viruses, or creating Trojan horses, sending spam, or stealing anyone's identity of property is unethical. So, digital law this refers to the legal rules and regulations that apply to online activities. It's about understanding that illegal actions are still illegal even if they happen online. So, example, not downloading copyrighted music or movies without permission, not hacking into other people's accounts or spreading viruses, not stealing someone's identity or personal information. Understanding the laws about online harassment and cyberbullying. Number 7. Digital rights and responsibilities. Just as in the American Constitution, where there is a Bill of Rights, there is a basic set of rights extended to every digital citizen. Basic digital rights must be addressed, discussed, and understood in the digital world. With these rights also come responsibilities as well. Users must help define how the technology is to be used in an appropriate manner. In a digital society, these two areas must work together for everyone to be productive. So, this focuses on the freedom and duties that come with being a digital citizen. It's all about knowing your right online and respecting the rights of others. Example, the right to privacy and freedom of speech online, the responsibility to use technology in a way that doesn't harm others, the responsibility to report illegal or harmful online activities, the responsibility to be a responsible and ethical user of technology.
Number 8. Digital health and wellness. Physical and psychological well-being in a digital technology world. Eye safety, repetitive stress syndrome, and sound ergonomic practices are issues that need to be addressed in a new technological world. Beyond the physical issues are those of the psychological issues that are becoming more prevalent, such as internet addiction. Ang digital health and wellness ay tumutukoy sa tamang paggamit ng teknolohiya upang mapanatili ang physical at mental na kalusugan. Halimbawa, kapag gumagamit tayo ng cellphone at laptop para sa pag-aaral, upang mapanatili ang ating digital wellness, sinisiguro natin may tamang ilaw ang ating silid habang nag-aaral para makaiwas tayo sa pagsakit ng ating mga mata. At iwasan nating nakababad sa paggamit ng mga teknolohiya dapat may tamang oras lang. And lastly, digital security or self-protection. Electronic precautions to guarantee safety. In any society, there are individuals who steal, deface, or disrupt other people. The same is true for digital community. It is not enough to trust other members in a community for own safety. Digital security, refers to the electronic precautions taken to protect personal data, devices, and online activities from cyber threats such as hacking, phishing, identity theft, and malware. Example, number 1, digital security measures. Using strong passwords, creating complex passwords with a mix of letters, numbers, and special characters to prevent unauthorized access. Number 2. Using two-factor authentication, adding an extra layer of security by requiring a verification code sent to mobile devices or email before logging into an account. And lastly, avoiding suspicious links and emails, preventing phishing attacks by not clicking on unknown links or downloading attachments from unverified sources.
To sum it up, digital citizenship as a 9 elements which are: Number 1, digital access. Number 2, digital commerce. Number 3, digital communication. Number 4, digital literacy. Number 5, digital etiquette. Number 6, digital law. Number 7, digital rights and responsibilities. Number 8, digital health and wellness. And number 9, digital security. These elements, individuals can become responsible digital citizens, promoting a positive and respectful online culture, and that would all. Thank you.